Hey you guys, what's up? It's your girl Tasha. Welcome back to my channel. How is everybody doing? Hopefully you're having an amazing day wherever you are. Today's video is going to be a chit chat get ready with me featuring this look here. That highlight though, bling bling. And also featuring the new Loreal Infallible up to 24-hour wear foundation. I have mine in the shade Sand. So grab your coffee. Lord knows I have mine here in my Yeti as always. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So as you guys can see, I have already cleansed, moisturized, primed, did a mask. I did the whole shebang today. So we are good to go on that. And I've also done my eyebrows because I'm slowly getting back into using brow pomade. And yeah, we're not going to do my brows on camera right now because I feel like it takes me forever. But anyway, I am having a hard time deciding, and I wish you guys could tell me which one to use. Just like tell me which one do I use. I was at the drugstore yesterday and there are so many new releases for foundation. And when I say new, I mean like new, like I haven't heard anybody talk about new. And then like maybe within the last month or so. So I ran across yesterday a display for CoverGirl. I was at Walgreens and they didn't have very many products on it, but one of the products that caught my eye was this, and it is the CoverGirl Outlast Active Foundation. Now if you go online, there's not a lot of information about this yet, but it has some pretty significant claims. It claims to wear up to 24 hours, which I don't know who's wearing their foundation that long, but not this girl. Not with this skin. And then it also claims to be sweat-proof, transfer-proof, humidity-proof, waterproof, your mama, your boyfriend, your sister, your auntie, your cousin-proof. I mean, that's some pretty significant claims. So I picked mine up in the shade Buff Beige. I do think this might be a little bit too light for me. However, their shade range for this is, I'm sorry, but it's pathetic. Like, I don't know what these brands are thinking. It's 2019. Can we get a shade for everybody at this point? I'm not going to get into a huge rant. I just think it's pathetic that everybody can't go to the drugstore and find their shade or one close to it. Like, didn't any of them learn with the whole Tarte scandal situation when Shape Tape came out? I guess not. So then anyway, I picked up that one, and then I also picked up the Loreal 24-hour, the Loreal Infallible 24-hour wear foundation, and this one looks like it'll be a pretty good match. I read really good things about this. I have not watched any videos on it yet just because I don't want to create an opinion about it, I guess. And then, oh, I didn't bring it upstairs with me, so I guess it's between these two guys. So as soon as I figure out which one we're going to use, we will go ahead and get into this or get ready with me. So, you know, the funny thing about this is like for me, these two brands, like I have not found a lot of foundations in these two brands that actually work for me. I've tried a ton. Usually with CoverGirl, their foundations do not work for me at all. They're usually either super drying to my skin or they look really cakey, and I just don't like them. Like, I generally do not like them. The only foundation that I have ever found from CoverGirl that I have not returned to the store or given to somebody else is the Healthy Vitalist Elixir, I believe. And then for L'Oreal, the only one that I have found that I have not given back was the Pro Glow. None of the other ones have worked for me, so I really don't have high hopes for these. I hate to say that. Don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get into it and get ready. Get ready with me. I think I'm going to actually start out with the Infallible. I will do the CoverGirl one in another video, so we're going to toss her to the side. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, I have already moisturized, primed my face, and all of that good stuff. Now, I don't know what I'm doing because generally lately I have been doing my eye makeup before I do my foundation, just because I'm tired of trying to fix the fallout right down her. So, I think I'm going to start out with the Jaclyn Hill palette. This pretty little baby right here that I'm sure everybody and their mother has. So, eye primer's a good start. I don't know what's going on. I think I just had like a shot too many of coffee, and when I say a shot, I use these straws that are meant for milkshakes that I probably shouldn't be drinking coffee with because it makes me a little cray-cray. So I'm just going to go in with my e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush and start priming my eyes with the eye primer by Luscious. It's called Angel Eyes. I actually got this in a subscription box, and I think it was BoxyCharm maybe. I think this came in BoxyCharm. This is actually pretty good. Usually I prime my eyes with either Tarte Shape Tape or the ColourPop concealer, but I really like this one. Those two are actually kind of drying on me, and I have a little bit of texture up here, so lately I've just been kind of over it. If you guys see me looking down here, I do have a mirror here, and I'm also going to try not to get this a little palette in your way that I'm going to try to use too. If you guys don't know me that well or know me personally, I do wear glasses, but I don't wear them when I film because I have not quite figured out yet how to keep the glare off my glasses while I'm filming. So I'm just going to go ahead and prime my eyes with this. Alright, so now that my eyes are all primed up and ready to rock and roll, I'm going to go ahead and wipe that concealer brush off with my wipe that I have sitting here. And I'm going to go ahead and set it. Generally, I don't like to set my eye primer just because I want my eyes to be as vibrant as possible. But sometimes it needs to be set. In the case with this one, I think it needs to be set. So, I'm going to take my Jaclyn Hill palette. We're going to get rid of this little paper thing. I hate those things. And you guys know what? I'm going to have to set my eyes with my setting powder because I forgot. This one doesn't really have a setting shade that works for me. So I'm just going to take my CoverGirl Healthy Vitalist powder in the shade 710 Classic Ivory. If you guys have tried this powder, you know that it kind of runs dark. So in the winter time, I have to use the Classic Ivory, which I have never used ivory anything because I'm mixed and I have like a tan, olivey, red bone, you know, kind of undertone. So usually everything for me is like a natural beige or like a buff beige, some kind of beige. So it's kind of weird to be using these, this in an ivory shade, but that's what matches my skin tone. I also use the shade 725 Buff Beige, and a lot of times I'll mix these two. That kind of gives me my perfect shade because this is my summer color. So alright, now that my eyes are all nice and primed and we're ready to rock and roll, we're going to grab some brushes and get into a look. I'm not really sure what I want to do. Probably something just simple to match this. So like, I'm going to pull out some oranges and maybe, you know what, I might even rock that blue in there. I have not used it yet. But we're just going to kind of go with the flow and play with some makeup. Now, disclaimer, because I don't want no haters down in my comments. I'm not a makeup artist. I don't claim to be. I am just a girl who is completely and utterly obsessed with makeup. If my house was on fire, the first 3 things that I'm going to grab are my dogs, my fiance, and my makeup. And not in that order. I'd grab my fiance and my dogs first, of course. So I'm sorry you guys, I forgot you can't see down here. So I'm just going in with this mustardy shade right here that matches my shirt. And I'm gonna use that as my transition shade. Now for me, transition shade, I like to go all the way up to almost my brow bone. And then I like to diffuse colors throughout there. So hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. And I like my transition shade to be really pigmented. Like, obviously a good blend, but I like it to be nicely pigmented so you can see it. For the longest time when I was doing my eyeshadow, I was over blending. So like, I kept wondering like, why can I not see my colors? Like the girls on Instagram and on YouTube, I was over blending. Because I was so afraid that my shadows weren't going to be blended and they were going to look like I just went and swatched them on my eyes. And I hate that. When I see somebody and they're talking to me and they don't have blended eyeshadow like at all, they literally just took that little foam thing that comes in it and swiped it and went like this. I just want to grab a brush and start blending. Oh, by the way, I'm using the Morphe M532. It's just a fluffy brush like this. I'm going to be honest, I'm not on the Morphe game train. When I purchased this brush, I was talking to the girl in Ulta, and, you know, I was asking. I'd never used Morphe before. And a lot of times I don't fall into the hype of stuff. I'm just kind of my own person like that. And she's like, oh yeah, they're great. I love my Morphe brushes. And I'm like, well, what do you love about them? And she's like, well, they don't shed, and they don't this, and they don't that. Why you gotta lie to kick it? I know damn well, being a drugstore brand and all that, she is not making commission off of those, so why you gotta lie? As soon as I got them brushes home and washed them, I started doing a makeup look a couple hours later when they dried. Them brushes shed like a mofo. I would actually rather use Real Techniques brushes than to spend my money on Morphe, because this isn't the only brush that I had that did it, and I'll use that brush a little bit later and show you guys. So I'm actually going to take this same shade that I started using as a transition, and first I'm going to take a drink of coffee because I'm getting really perched, and then I'm going to build that color up in my crease a little bit. I see you watching me. Okay, and so now that we're done with that color, I'm actually gonna take, excuse me, I didn't mean to look at my boob on camera. I'm gonna take like a thinner brush and really get in my crease with, I guess I'm gonna go in with this shade right next to it, this little kind of brown shade-ish. I don't know these colors, hang on you guys. So I started out with Creamsicle, and now I'm gonna use the shade Butter in the Jaclyn Hill Petite. And I'm just gonna pop this right into my deep crease. Try to warm it up a little bit. I like that. So all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take that other brush that I was using, the Morphe M532, and I'm just gonna slightly dip back into that Creamsicle shade, and I'm just gonna kind of buff out the edges. I cannot stand having harsh edges. And I mean, I barely dipped it in there. You guys probably can't even see it on the brush. So, because you don't wanna create more harsh edges on your transition where you were blending before. If I put this in front of my face, you guys, I'm really, really sorry. This is, I think, my first Get Ready With Me. Well, like legit first Get Ready With Me. And so I'm kind of all over the place. So you'll just have to be patient. So the next shade that I'm gonna go in with, I'm gonna deepen up the crease a little bit more with an orangey shade, and that shade is called Hunts, and it's this shade right here. Ooh, she pigmented. Just gonna go back in with that same Morphe M532 and blend this out just a little bit. I just wanted to say, if you were here for the foundation review, I will leave the timestamp down below so you can skip to that part if you don't want to watch the entire video. But I would really love it if you did. So what's everybody's favorite shows that are going to be coming on TV this season. Like, is anybody excited for anything? Anybody watching anything new? What's going on? What's the dealio? What's the tea? I am not really into anything right now, like anything new. I've been watching old episodes of Law and Order and old episodes of Blue Bloods. What else do I watch? CSI. I think CSI Miami, is that the one that I love? Ooh, and I just came across a show. It's not new, but it's new to me. It's called Leverage, and I am obsessed with that one. I hate that it comes on so early in the morning because usually I don't sleep very well, so if I'm up that early, I'm dozing on the couch. So then I end up missing some of it, but it's like kind of action, humor. I don't know, it's really good though. I really like it. So I'm just going back into that creamsicle shade, and I'm gonna go above the shade Hunts. That's what I used right here in my crease, and I'm just gonna kind of, you'll see, blend out those edges a little bit, but I want to see creamsicle. Like, I like that kind of like a gradient effect, and you don't want to put too much on your brush because, yeah, you don't want to be here blending all day. You feel me? Whatever, let me in. So has anybody seen any new movies lately? I have not been to the movie theater, and I cannot even remember when the last time was. I'm just going to take a clean brush and blend out a little bit. There's so many new movies coming out, like I can't even keep up. And I'm going to be honest, when I was a kid, it was like semi-expensive to go to the movies. Now that I'm older, I think I'm just too cheap to pay that high-ass price. The last time I went to the movies was probably like 3 years ago. And I think they had this, it was like unlimited refills of popcorn and a large pop. It was like this huge bag. And so me and my friend went, and I swear it was like $14 or $18. And I'm not gonna sit there and eat all that. So it's just money down the drain for me. But like, I'm sorry. I think it's ridiculous the amount of money that you spend to go to the movies when you can just go rent the movie at Redbox for a couple bucks and go home. I'm gonna go into the shade right here. It's kind of like a dark brown, and I think it is called Buns. Ooh. So I'm gonna put that on my outer V. I don't want to get too dramatic or too, and I'm just taking a AOA Studio brush. These are super affordable. These are on shopmissa.com, and I think they're the foam ink brushes. This one is the E1. Sorry, guys, bland. This is the E135 brush, and it's super precise to kind of tap it into your outer V, which is what I like to do to start off, just so that I can kind of see where I'm placing the color before I start blending. I actually learned this technique from watching Thomas Albert. He's one of my other favorite YouTubers. If you guys don't know who he is, I will link his channel down below too. But if you don't know who Thomas Albert is, I'm sorry, you've been sleeping under a rock. Like, I seriously believe that. Don't worry about all the fallout and stuff. We'll clean that up later. And then don't worry about blending this right now. I'll blend it out later. Right now, my main focus is placing the color. I'm sorry if you guys can't see this part right here. Does anybody else have issues doing, like, okay, I'm right-handed, but I have issues doing my left side. Like, I'll have to clean all that up. And then if I make a mistake and go a little bit too high right here, I have to do it on the other side. So I'm just gonna take that same Morphe brush that I've been using to blend and just kind of start blending this. And it's okay that it's not like super perfect or smoky. I'm gonna take a darker color in here. Empty ways. So I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of doing a little doo-doo here, like whatever, just playing. I'm gonna go in with another darker brown, and I'm gonna take the shade right here at the bottom of the palette, second row from the bottom, and this is called Mocha. I'm just gonna deepen up that outer V. I really like this palette. Like, it took me forever to purchase it, and I really don't know why. Probably because it was Morphe, and I really just did not want to fall into the hype. But like, I was starting to get bored with my eyeshadows a couple months ago. You know what? I think I bought this in September, a couple months ago. So yeah, I kind of found myself in Ulta, and I knew I went in there to buy some new eyeshadows. And I was looking at this one, I was looking at her Vault collection, like, even though I read that the reviews were really, really bad, and I watched some videos and people were just hating. And so I was like, God, I mean, when I swatched the colors, I thought they were really pretty. And when I swatch colors, like, I don't just do the little whole, hold up, you guys, I'm blending. Okay, we gonna fix that. When I swatch eyeshadows that I'm gonna be purchasing, I don't just do the little and I'm done. Like, no, I'm sitting there like rubbing it, like I wanna see how it blends. So when I swatched her eyeshadow palette, I thought it was really pretty. And I swatched I don't even know the names of them, so I'm not even gonna sit here and try to pretend like I do. It was like the ones with like the oranges and the reds. It was really, really pretty. And then I also swatched the one with the greens and stuff in it. And I almost bought those two. But then I was looking at this one, and I was like, gosh, this does not just have one color story in it. So I was like, I know I'm going to use this one a lot more. And I do. It has some really beautiful shades in it. I think she did an amazing job with this color story. There's so many options. And yeah, the amount of mattes she has in here, the amount of shimmers, I think you really get a lot for your money. Like, you could do so many looks with this palette. So I think she did a really good job. I'm just taking that E135 AOA Studio brush that had a little bit of orange. I swear my camera hates me because it always shutting off. We gonna have words, Canon. We gonna have words. If you ever hear me talk to my camera or say, Felicia, you work in my nerves or whatever, my camera's name is Felicia. So anyways, like I was saying, I'm going to take that AOA 135 brush and just go up here and blend out my mistake because I went a little too high up, which I always do on this side. See, fixes it perfectly. Then I'm just going to take this other AOA Studio E128. This is another line of their brushes. These are only 10 bucks and they are so good. I have 3 sets of these. That's how good they are. And for 10 bucks, I believe you get 10 brushes for $10 and some change. You have to get on their website and check it out. I love AOA Studio. It is actually Shop Miss A's in-house brand. If you don't know, well, now you know. And they have some really good, affordable products. Okay, so I'm not loving this just yet, so I'm going to go back into Creamsicle and do just a little bit more blending. Sometimes this happens to me when I don't plan out my look. Usually I do plan out on my arm, and I didn't today. But I feel like I've lost that shade in here. I hate when that happens. Looks a little crazy right now, but I promise you it will all come together. It usually does. There she is. Hi, Creamsicle. Now I see you. We're gonna have to blend you out, sister. Going back in with that same Morphe 5 whatever. Again, you guys, I know it looks a little crazy right now, but I promise you she will come together and look decent. I mean, at least I think so. I freaking love playing with eyeshadow. It's so much fun. Okay, so we're gonna darken up this outer V again because I keep losing the color because of all the blending that I do. Because sometimes I just over blend. I don't know why. Or well, yeah, I do. I already explained it, but it just drives me crazy. Between my eyeshadow and my eyebrows, that is what takes me the longest time when I'm in there. So a lot of times when I'm doing my eye makeup and stuff, I notice that like I get color, excuse me, I get color stuck right here. I just take my concealer brush and just kind of do like this number right here. And it really helps to tone it down so that it's just so like, bam, you jacked up your eyeshadow. And it doesn't look bad once you do that. And then once I put my foundation and stuff on, I will go through here like, you'll see. You will see. So I'm just going to take a smaller brush and go ahead and highlight my brow bone. Usually I do this at the end, but just because it's looking a little wonky and crazy right now, I'm trying to tone it down a little bit so y'all don't click off my video. Don't make me comfy, yo. And don't mind my little friend that popped up here earlier today. Gotta love acne. A little bit of shadow on my brow. That's another thing I wonder a lot of times is like, how do people do their brows first? And then not get anything in them or mess them up or have to redo them again, because a lot of times I have to go back in and like refill where I got makeup or powder, whatever. So I'll probably have to do that again. Now I'm going to go in with a crease, or not a crease shade. I'm going with the lid shade. And I think I'm gonna take, probably one of these two gold shades. I think this is a gold. I'm gonna swatch it, but if not, this one. And then I'm gonna lighten that up with this, like just right here in the inner part of my lid. I always have to swatch to see what I'm gonna use. I don't know. Okay, that's a pink. We're not doing that. I'm gonna go in with this gold shade right here. If you can see that. And that is the shade Queen. Love. I love it. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take some setting spray and I'm gonna wet my brush so we can get it up to full intensity. Ooh, she pretty. She pretty. So I just want to put it out there. It's not that these shadows are not super pigmented. It's that I try not to take too much on my brush at a time, because as I have started to age, I have noticed that I have wrinkly eyelids. So if I get too much, it starts to look super cakey and like subtle really bad in my wrinkles on my lids, and I absolutely hate that. I just think it looks really tacky. So I try to build all of my shimmers up. Doesn't always work that way because I am super heavy-handed. I'm trying not to be, but I am with like everything. My skincare, with my makeup, with my shampoo, conditioner, hair products. I've gotten better as I've gotten older though. I've started to learn that less really truly is more sometimes. And that, you know, it's pretty much like a waste of product to sit there and just kick it on, kick it on, kick it on, kick it on. So I'm gonna go back in with my, what is this? An E128 by AOA Studio, and I'm just gonna blend my crease shade, good lord girl, wake up. I'm gonna blend my outer V with that same color that I used, just to kind of blend this in a little bit. And then I'm gonna take this I think 135 and just kind of do this again. Just to kind of tone it down a little bit. Which again, I toned it down too much. I don't know, I'm not getting what I like out of this. So I'm gonna actually take a darker brown shade and I'm gonna use this guy right here. He's a super dark brown, almost black, and this is the shade Soda Pop. It's just like, I feel like I'm not getting what I want as far as intensity right here. There we go. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. Like, where is that pigment, y'all? I keep losing it. Found it. Now the key here is not to blend it away like I usually do. I just, again, I don't like harsh lines. So I tend to have to do this several times. Which, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone before I blend it all the way again. Again, it still looks a little crazy, but we're gonna fix all of that because we are getting ready to go in with the foundation on. I will do my under my lash line here in a little bit. I usually do my foundation first because if I don't, then it's a shit show. So all I do is take a makeup wipe and I'm going to wipe away the eyeshadow here, and then I do the same thing on this side so that we don't have all of that little messy mess out there. I'm also going to take a primer spray and refresh my face. I'm using the coconut primer spray, the 3-in-1 primer water by Wet n Wild again. I am totally obsessed with this, you guys. I think I'm gonna have to do an order soon because that's not gonna last me long. And I don't wanna run out. So we're going in with the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. This is my first time trying this, which is the reason for this whole video. I am in the shade, what is this? Number 465. Where's the color? Sand. I am in the shade number 465 Sand. So I'm just gonna pump some of this on the back of my hand. Ooh, she running. Okay, I just did 2 pumps. We're gonna see how far that takes me because this is super runny and I'm not loving that. So I'm gonna go in with the Morphe RG6. Now, I have another one that I really, really like to apply foundation. Generally, I do not like brushes. I still use a sponge. I'm gonna go in with the Real Technique sponge to blend it out just a little bit more in certain areas of my face. But I have to use this smaller one. I have a bigger one. But again, I went to wash it and she sheds. So these are the only foundation brushes that I have found. Ooh, this might be a little too light. That I have found that actually blend my foundation without those strokes, like the brush strokes and streaks and stuff. So I really, really got into them until they started shedding. And now I'm just like, don't love you. So this looks super light on me on camera. I promise you, in person, it matches. Like, it's actually a really good match. I don't know if you guys can see that. But it looks super light on camera. But that would be the ring light. I'm actually gonna do a wear test on this for you guys. So when I do my check-ins and stuff, you will see it's not too late for me. I take a little bit more, maybe a pump or so. I always blend it down the neck. I cannot stand having a makeup line. So ladies, don't forget to blend down your neck. How you doing? I also generally do my ears, especially in the summertime when I'm tan. Like, And that's why I don't wear earrings when I'm doing my makeup, because I will just kind of get my ears and make sure that everything matches. Wow, that blended out really, really nice with the brush. I'm really surprised. And for a L'Oreal foundation, it actually doesn't look too bad. Now, I'm not exactly happy with the coverage so far, and I believe, I thought this claimed to be full coverage. Maybe it's medium. I don't see it anywhere on here. Maybe it's on the cap. Hang on, guys. No, it just says 24-hour breathable texture. So, I mean, it feels really light. I just feel like I have a moisturizer on my skin. I am taking just a little bit more on the back of my hand, and I'm going to try to build it up using my sponge just to see if it can be built up, because your girl like a little bit more coverage, and that is because I have a lot of acne scars as a teenager, and in my 20s, I picked the hell out of my face. I mean, I pick my face now, but nothing like I did in my 20s. Like, I was ridiculous. She does build up nicely. Like, it's not feeling cakey, which I love. Let me check my nose. It's not sitting in my nose pores funny, so I like that. The true test for me is usually right here, my nose and my under eyes. Try not to get too much foundation on my under eyes. If you can see, like, I did not go under here a lot with foundation because I don't like all those layers, like a foundation. And then I'm gonna try to build up just a tad bit more. Yes, I'm using a lot. What was I saying? Oh, I don't like all those layers because I feel like they get cakey, and I don't want cakey foundation because that's not cute. So we're just going here where I need more coverage because of those acne scars. Okay, so I'm not seeing any more coverage. I think it's done. So, gosh, you guys, I would say it's a light medium coverage. I definitely don't think you could get this to full even if you tried. It's not bad though. I don't not like it so far. I mean, the way it's sitting on my skin, I'm actually enjoying it. I'm gonna wait a few minutes and see if I have to set this. It actually looks pretty, I think. I mean, what do you think? Comment down below. And don't be mean. We only like nice people here. Ooh, I need some brow mascara. Wow, I'm really surprised, you guys. I think it looks really pretty on the skin. I really do. Ooh, I didn't finish blending over here. Y'all didn't tell me. So right here is a little cray cray. So I'm just going in with that Morphe brush. And actually, the way to fix this, if you don't have a really good setting shade, just take your face powder, swirl just a little bit, and buff out your lines. Like, I can see a harsh line here. Of course, I'm not used to doing my makeup in a room that's not lit very well either. It looks like it has more lighting than what it does because of the ring lights. So, there we go. That helped a little bit. But I mean, again, I've also been into super intense color. I just think it looks really pretty, and it really brings out your eyes. You get to see the eyeshadows. Wow, this is setting down really nice. So it has started to set down. It is not super matte. It's not super dewy. I'm really not sure what this is just yet. I'm trying to give it a few more minutes. A few more YouTube minutes to set down. Now, what I would normally do is spray my face with one of my sprays, whether it would be this primer water, the Tarte Ready Set Radiant, or Pearlescence, one of these. This one I'm using today is Aloe and Rose Water. I absolutely love the smell of this. But I always go and set my face again just to keep it moisturized while I'm doing my makeup. Whew, she got in my nerves. Hopefully she's not on my camera lens. So So moving on, while that is drying, it usually dries super fast. I'm gonna go ahead and move into concealer. And today I am using my favorite concealer, the Tarte Creaseless Concealer. And I have two shades here. I have medium golden and medium. And I think I'm gonna go in with medium. The reason that I love this concealer is because it is super hydrating. When you have dry skin, it's just like, oh my god. Can I get some hydration, please? Well, I'm gonna be honest, this does crease. I don't know why they called it creaseless, but it is so hydrating. I love it. I'm obsessed. I think this is like, these are like my 4th and 5th tube. Love them. I'm not going to take too much up here. Usually I use a more mattifying concealer up here just because I tend to get a little bit oily there, and we know she ain't cute. So every time I put on concealer, no matter what concealer it is, I always take the Tarte Already Set Radiant and just give it a little 1-2. It just kind of helps to build it, or to blend it out a little bit better, and then it doesn't look cakey. Or you could spray your sponge, but I just prefer to spray it directly on my face. I can't tell if that's sitting in my nose funny over this foundation. Now this is a concealer that I use every single day. So like, I know that this works for me. I know that it works with my everyday foundations. I'm just not sure how it's working with this one just yet. Sometimes it takes a little minute to see. I know what I forgot. So I haven't moved all of my makeup from our bathroom to my studio yet. And Mom, if you're watching this, I promise I'm going to use these drawers soon. So yeah, I forgot a few products, and one of the products I forgot was my loose powder. Now I have gotten into baking lately on my under eyes. Because God, this foundation is nice. What I have gotten into lately is baking in my under eyes lately with the Laura Mercier A powder, which upon first impression I did not like it, just because I have super dry under eyes. So I did forget that product downstairs, but that is okay because we have my Ride or Die powder up here, which is the CoverGirl Healthy Vitalist powder, which is what I use to sweep away that bake anyways. So we're just gonna go in with that with my favorite under eye brush. And this is actually a tapered highlighting brush by Luxie. So I just kind of pack that powder on, give it a nice little tap, and then I just kind of press it in on my under eye. And this keeps my concealer on all day long. And it also keeps my under eyes from getting super cakey and dry, because this powder just melts so effortlessly into the skin. It is so freaking beautiful. Okay, so real talk, I have to do a little story time real quick. So I thought they were discontinuing this powder just because I'm having so many problems finding it in the drugstores. So I emailed CoverGirl yesterday. I got a response today. They're not discontinuing it, which made me very, very happy. I love you, CoverGirl. And they told me that it was just in low production, or yeah. I'm like, what in the hell does that mean? Like, why are you guys, like, so many people love this powder, so why would you not be like mass producing it? You know what I mean? This foundation has set down pretty good. However, I'm still gonna have to set my face because I can feel just a slight little bit of a tackiness. So I'm just gonna go in with that Equate powder brush that I raved about in yesterday's video, or Monday's video, whatever day I posted that. My days are mixed up. Because if I don't set it, then I'm not gonna be able to blend my bronzers and stuff like that. It's gonna move my foundation around. You guys, I cannot get over this foundation right now. Like, I am shooketh to the core. Usually, I do not like... And you know what? I'm not going to jump the gun, because it could wear really horribly, and then I look like Boo Boo the Fool because I'm sitting here raving about it right now. Don't forget to set that neck, because boyfriend husband is not gonna like getting a chunk of foundation in his mouth. All right, so now that we are all set, oh my God, this looks so good. I can't get over it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut up about it now. I'm gonna go ahead and move into some bronzer. And with my bronzer, I am using an OG. This is the NYC Bronzer in Sunny. You can still find this on Amazon and Walmart. Don't be buying it all up. Just kidding. I'm gonna go ahead and use another brush by Luxie. This is the Duo Fiber Powder Brush. I like to use this for my bronzer because it just kind of helps you build it up without just like wham bam caking it on. So now I do use quite a bit on my forehead because y'all, I don't have a forehead, I have a 5 head. And then sometimes I will also mix in my Hoola bronzer, which I cannot find at the moment. Just because it's like a darker shade. Oh, I forgot my contour. What y'all tell me? So for contour first, I'm gonna go in with the LA Colors contour in the shade medium. These are phenomenal and they are dollar store. Like the only place I can find them is at the dollar stores. I found one at the Dollar Tree and I found the other 2 or 3 that I have at Dollar General. They have these little display cases close to the makeup. If you can find them, I'm telling you, grab them. They are so good. Now, the ones that I found at Dollar Tree, actually, their highlighter is like shimmery. It's the highlighter for your cheekbones, your nose, all that good stuff. This one has a matte highlighter in it. And I use this, you can use it to set your under eyes. I use it to do the bridge of my nose, just to give it that little pop because I chisel my nose, you guys. Because it's kind of wide. And I'm just not always digging her. So yeah, my nose got to be snatched. Snatched to the gourds. So we are still chiseling out my 5 head. You know, I think where that came from is my dad always called me big head. Always told me I had a big head. I do have a big head, I really do. But that's where like my whole forehead, 5 head thing came in at. Thanks, Dad. Do you guys ever have that problem where you're contouring? Like, it looks like I'm being rough, but I swear to you I'm not. Like, I'm barely pressing. And I don't know if you can see that, but I feel like it moves my foundation around. And, like, I can start to see a little bit of my acne scars. Don't know why that happens, but whatevs. We're going to finish up contouring my cheekbones. We're going to try this mirror here. Okay. I feel like it just kind of buffed the product away. Like, where are you going? Alright, we are done contouring. Sometimes I'll take it and just drag it down the neck just a little bit. Otherwise, I feel like I have this really harsh line here and I don't like it. So it just kind of bronzes up your neckline. Makes it look a little purty. So this next trick I learned from James Charles. Love you, sister. And I like to, instead of using my contour powder on my nose, because I feel like it's super harsh and I feel like it just makes my nose look kind of dirty. But the trick that I learned from him was to use this Luxie eyeshadow brush. And this is the medium angled shading brush, the number 207. And this just has like the perfect angle to contour your nose with, I think. And so I'm just going to start over here with my line down this side of my nose. And then down this side of my nose. And today, to do it, I'm just using my Luxie. Y'all know I'm using that, but I'm just using my NYC bronzer in Sunny. Now, generally what I like to use is either my Hoola bronzer. I did bring it up here, I just can't find it. So generally I like to use that one, or I like to use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I just think it gives such a nice little contour to the nose without being too harsh. Again, if you are wondering, I use mine in the shade Deep. And I use that one all year round just because it really suits my skin like all year round. So I'm actually going to go back in with that dual fiber brush that I just used to contour my face. And then I take that and I buff this out. Okay, so I think she snatched. It ain't looking so wide, is it? It is looking a little rough, but you know what? I'm gonna fix that. Just chill, just chill. I don't know what is wrong with me the past few days. I just feel so goofy and in like such a good mood. So generally I will take, oh, I do have one with me. I use the Wet n Wild powder. Like that's my favorite one to go down my nose with, but I don't have that one up here with me. The reason I like that one is, again, super dry nose. That powder is super creamy, and I use the little contour palette. It's like a circle in Dolce de Leche, but since I don't have it with me, I'm just gonna press a little bit of that shade in from this one, and I'm using the yellow color. And then all I do is take my bronzing brush, actually, and I just kind of wipe it away. And do you see the difference? Like it just, I don't know. I just like my nose contoured like this. Some people don't like it. I like it. I like it. So when I get done doing my face with powder, generally before I do my contour, I'm not usually doing my makeup in front of a camera, so I'm more focused. Like, you guys, I am seriously focused when I'm doing my makeup. So generally I go back in with that setting spray. We're gonna spray away the powder look, because nobody likes to be cake face. Well, some people do. I don't. So as you will notice, I do use quite a bit. And then sometimes I will go in with this one too. But you want to be careful how much of this one that you spray on your face while you are still doing your makeup, because if you spray too much of this, you're going to have one hell of a time blending your blushes, your highlighter, your bronzer, your contour, just whatever. So while that is drying down, I am going to start on my lower lash line, just because that does have to dry before I can do my blush. To do my lower lash line, we have to be able to get the palette open, Tasha. To do my lower lash line, I'm going to start out with this Luxie brush. This is the 121 mini tapered brush. Love this brush. And we're just going to start out with the colors that I started with initially with doing my eyeshadow. So we're going to go in with Creamsicle. Excuse me, girl, you're so nasty. And I'm going to buff that out on my lower lash line. Now, I didn't used to like doing this, and now I do. I think that it really helps to hide any like wrinkles that you have going on underneath of here. If you have super dark circles that concealer just doesn't cover, this will really help hide it. Oh, you guys, this foundation is so pretty. I was so worried that it was going to be like really, really matte and it was just going to make me look so cakey. But it's not. It's so pretty. I can't wait to go show Daddy. I mean, Nick. It's a joke. Alright, so the next shade I'm going to go in with was a Butter. And you can use a more precise brush for this. I really like doing it this way. I don't know why. I just kind of like the effect that it gives under my eye. And then when I'm done, like you can see right here, it's kind of coming down a lot, but I like it. And then I'll go back and blend stuff out. And I will blend it out right after I put my eyeliner on. And it just, I don't know. It really adds something to your makeup look. So the next shade that I'm going to go in with is Buns. And I'm going to take a more precise brush. And this is the, it doesn't have a name on it, but this is from Almar Cosmetics. This also came in BoxyCharm. Love this little eyeliner brush here. And I'm just going to get it as close to the lash line as possible so that it doesn't go down too far and then create like a, like I got a black eye. How you doing? I need to quit playing, y'all. This can be really hard for me sometimes, especially when doing eyeshadow or the lash line, because I have those super sensitive eyes and anything makes them water. And it's just, I'm sitting here and I'm just like, God, don't water, don't water, don't water. Like a lot of times, especially when I'm getting ready to go somewhere, like that's what takes me so long, is that my eyes are starting to water and it's so frustrating. Okay, so once you have your lash line done to your desired look, which I'm pretty much done, you can go ahead and either buff it out. Me, I like to put my eyeliner on so that it's on, it's out of the way. If I want to smudge it with a smudge brush, I can smudge it. And this is not a new product, but this is a Shimmer Strips eyeliner, and this is in the shade Brown Eyes. This is the kit that it came in. I'm testing these out right now. These were on clearance, I think, at either CVS or Walgreens, and I love the purple. I don't use a lot of black, but I'm still gonna use that one. And then I love brown eyeliner. It's like my favorite. I will wear that over black any day. But yeah, so far I'm loving these. They're really, really creamy. Like, you do not have to tug on your eye at all to get these to work, and they are waterproof, which is my favorite, because I have watery eyes that don't like to cooperate. So I'm just trying to put this on my inner. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, because my eyes don't like to cooperate. And as we speak, you guys, they are watering already. Why was I blessed with watery eyes? Oh my god, the other one's just watering just thinking about me going in with this. I'm just like, come on. Come on, eyes. We're gonna leave that at that, just because I know my eyes and they're getting ready to act a straight fool, so we don't want that. I'm gonna go ahead and go back in with that initial brush that I started with, and I'm just gonna kind of start buffing some of this color out a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna go back in with some of that color Creamsicle and just pop that right below this. Just a little bit. Nothing too crazy, nothing too harsh. I just really like that color to show. No, I'm like obsessed with that, the lower lash line color. Sometimes it can look a little crazy. Like right now to you, it might look a little crazy. Maybe it's not your thing, and that's okay. So I'm gonna go back into the shade Buns and just go where I initially put it at. That's gonna also help your liner from sliding around, because your eyes are annoying like mine, and they like to ruin your makeup. So then what I like to do when I am done with that is take that shade that I used, or the brush that I used to set my under eyes, and I just kind of blend out any fallout that may have happened while I was doing my shadow, or if I went too low, you know, Joe. Just kidding. All right, so let's go ahead and move it on into blush. We are going to be taking the City Color Matte Blush. This is becoming one of my favorites very quickly, and this is in the shade Fresh Melon. I discussed this the other day in one of my videos. I'm just going to take one of these Luxie blush brushes. This is the number 514, and I love this one for blush. I'm just going to swirl it in there. I told y'all these are super duper pigmented, so tap, 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 because yeah. And I may have tap, tap, tap too much because I don't see it. So, one tap is good. You guys, I am a sucker for a good blush. So sometimes I go a little overboard, but that is what your powder brush is for. So just take that and rub it over those areas where you went crazy with your blush, and you will be good to go. Just gonna take a little bit more, just a little bit more. I love this color, you guys. It's so pretty. So now that we're done with the blush, let's move into some highlighter. I know you guys cannot wait to see what product I'm using. I know you can't wait. I'm going to use the Bad Habit Rose Highlighting Collection. If you don't know what Bad Habit Beauty is, you are definitely living under a rock. You can find them on the Shop Hush app, and you can also find them at badhabitbeauty.com. They have some beautiful products. Not even going to try to, like, sugarcoat it. Not gonna try to sugarcoat it. Bad Habit Beauty likes to dupe other brands, like high-end brands, eyeshadow palettes, blush palettes, highlighting palettes. I think we all know that this is a dupe, but it is absolutely gorgeous. She's gorgeous. So I think I'm gonna go into the shade Bubbly, which is the shade right here. I think that it will look good with the orange tones that I got going on today. I'm just gonna spritz my brush with a little bit of that setting spray and whirl it, whirl it, whirl it. And I like to get quite a bit on there just because I'm gonna lose some of it when I respray my face anyways. I just do the tip of my nose, Cupid's bow, and then I really go to town on my cheeks, you guys. If you do not like a super poppin' highlight, you're not gonna like this. Cause she poppin', she blending. Like if I could never own another highlighting palette in my life but this one, I'd own this one. And she's super inexpensive. I think this is under $12, I think. I can't remember. I'll link it down below, just in case you're interested. Now, generally, ooh, blinding, blinding, woo woo. Girl, you gonna cause a car accident with that poppin' highlight. No, but seriously, usually I don't like highlighters like this until I started using this one. It's so freaking beautiful. It's just so beautiful. I mean, look at that. Just, it's so pretty. I got stuck. I need to quit drinking so much coffee before I film these videos. What I like to do is take a damp beauty blender and then just press on it so that it's not really going to take down that intensity. It's just going to kind of blend it into your skin a little bit more so that it's not just like you striped it. You know what I mean? Or like you got a stripe on your face like the American flag or something. I'm going to take a little bit more over here so that it matches my other cheek. I'm going to take that damp beauty blender again and just press it into the skin a little bit more. And then sometimes I just like to take a swipe of it and just go down a little bit of the bridge of my nose. Now, a lot of people like to put it down on their chin. I don't like that. If that's your jam, you go right on ahead. The other area that I like to do is just right here, right above the brow bone, and we're done. And what are we gonna move on to next? I am actually gonna do my mascara off camera, and the reason for that is that my eyes water profusely when I'm doing my mascara, so I don't wanna waste your time and have you sit here watching me, you know, dry my eyes. But I am going to use one of these three when I come back on. I'm gonna tell you guys which one I used. It's either gonna be the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, the Perricone No Makeup Mascara, or the new CoverGirl Exhibitionist. This one I'm testing out. I just bought this yesterday. So far, liking it, and I will be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. So real quick, my eyes are still intact. They did water just a little bit. And they always do. I have such sensitive eyes. But the mascara that I chose to go in with was the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara in black. So now that we're all done with mascara, I'm actually going to go in with my lippy. And I'm going to go in with the new Wet n Wild Mega Liquid Catsuit High Shine Lipstick in Sun Nudes. Ooh, you so naughty. Alright you guys, so I think we are about finished up. The final step for me is to set my makeup, and I do use 2 setting sprays because y'all know I'm extra AF. I like to use the Tarte Ready Set Radiant. Cannot get over that highlight, y'all. She poppin', she poppin'. I like to use the Tarte Ready Set Radiant Mist to give me that youthful, glowy look that is just so beautiful, especially when you have dry skin. And then to make it last all day long, make it last, I like to use the Milani Make It Last setting spray. That really locks my makeup in without keeping me matte, because I use this one to keep me dewy. So And then you don't have to wait for one or the other to dry. I usually do it in that order. I do the Milani one first, and then I take this one. And I use a lot of her because I got dry skin. God, that minty smell. I wish you guys could smell the way that that setting spray smells if you have not tried it yet. It is so, so good. And I probably have helmet hair. Okay. I got you. There we go. There she is. If this is your first time here, I hope that you enjoyed the video, so please subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and ring that bell notification so that you are notified every time I upload a video, which is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. I will see you guys in my next video. Have an amazing rest of the day. Bye.